This production is produced by Townsville City Netball Association Incorporated in reference to the World Netball Rules of Netball 2024 and is filmed on what always was and what always will be Aboriginal land.
Quarter starts and ends on the umpire's whistle. Substitutions and team changes can be made by both teams during an end-of-quarter interval or stoppage of injury, illness or blood.
Prior to the match, the captains of each team will perform a toss to determine which team will take the first centre pass.
During end-of-quarter intervals, the captain of the team is permitted to approach the umpires with another team member to clarify the meaning or interpretation of a rule. Players are not permitted to ask the umpire to look out for certain actions.
It is important that during an interval or stoppage that all team officials and spectators remain off the court.
If either team has taken a prolonged period of time to make their substitutions and changes, the infringing team may be penalised for delaying play once play restarts.
On-court player appeals for time for injury or illness. The umpire will blow their whistle and hold time, signalling.
In instances where an injury or illness is not obvious, the umpire may ask, "What for?" in which the on-court player must tell the umpire of their injury or illness prior to the stoppage being called.
The umpire may hold time to confirm with the player concerned as to whether they would like an injury or illness timeout. Both teams are permitted to perform substitutions. All players who are not being substituted are required to remain on court. The controlling umpire must call time back on.
In an emergency where a player cannot be removed from the court, umpires are permitted to extend the time of the stoppage and move the game to another court to allow the game to continue.
A primary care person is allowed to enter the court to assist during an injury, illness or blood stoppage, and they can invite another person onto the court to assist the injured player off the court. During a TCNAI fixture, the primary care person may be the coach.
The umpire will blow their whistle to start play and play is to commence from the position where the play stopped, whether that is a pass, shot, penalty or throw-in.
If the umpire is not able to recall which team had possession prior to the stoppage, possession will be awarded to the team that had possession last. For an instance of a bleeding wound, including blood-stained clothing, the umpire will hold time without an appeal from the on-court player. An on-court player can bring this to the umpire's attention if it has gone unnoticed. For instances of injury, illness or blood, the player concerned has 30 seconds to leave the court and receive any treatment off court, or to be substituted off court, and for both teams to make all team changes. As mentioned, an umpire may extend this time interval if required. Blood must be cleaned from the ball, post pads, court and players' bodies and clothing prior to the match restarting.
The position of the player concerned may be left vacant, with no substitution being made. If the position is a centre, an on-court player must substitute into the centre position, leaving their current position vacant.
Once the player has been treated, they are permitted to come back onto the court during an interval or break in play, such as a goal. If the player returning is the centre, the umpire will hold time to allow the centre to return to their position, and for the player who moved into the centre position to move back to their original position.
In 2024, TCNAI is retaining the use of rolling substitution in the Premier League competition, as well as introducing rolling substitutions in all senior divisions, as well as Juniors League and Division 1 divisions in each age group.
Rolling substitutions permit teams to make substitutions during play. Time is not held for a rolling substitution.
Substitutions should take place in a timely manner from the substitution box dedicated to each team bench area. Players are required to come off court and tag hands prior to the substitution entering the court. Rolling substitutions are unlimited, and multiple substitutions can be made at once.
Offside rules apply for players leaving and entering the court. Players must not interfere with the umpire's position.
If these infringements were to occur, the umpire will call incorrect substitution, free pass team A, which is to be taken from where the ball is when the infringement occurred.